Hello and welcome, dear friends. In this video we take a look at the new Volspeed V4 tuning module for Bosch active and performance engines. Volspeed has released a very nice tuning module with the V4, namely a model that is supposed to support all current Bosch performance and active engines. This also applies to engines built up to 2021, where the well-known error of 504 often occurred in the past. This error was caused by the anti-tuning software. How did Volspeed solve this error? It's actually quite simple, because the maximum assistance you can set is now only a maximum of 45 kilometers an hour. So no longer 99 kilometers an hour or more, as it used to be. The tuning module locks the bike at 45 kilometers an hour, but that's not a problem, because with the transmission or the body power and the pedaling force, you can't realistically reach a much higher speed anyway. The transmission just doesn't fit. Thus, when riding your bike, you don't really notice that the module locks at 45 kilometers an hour, which is great. The installation of the tuning module works plug and play and is therefore super simple. Now let's take a look at how exactly this works. The bike is already on the workbench, where we can tinker around with it right away. But first, the most important thing. I got us the tuning module from the warehouse. The tuning module is packed in a small bag with an operating manual. It is important to order the crank puller as well. It's a little different on every bike. On this one, as well as most Bosch motors, you will need this crank puller. So, please pay attention to that. In the package you will find the instruction manual and the Volspeed tuning module, as well as 2 cable ties so that you can store everything neatly. The crank puller is very important. You need it quite often with Bosch engines. We now remove the crank with an 8mm Allen wrench. Just insert the key in the middle and then turn it. I loosened it a bit beforehand, and boom. Then I can easily unscrew this part. Next, we take the crank puller. If you're wondering what this attachment is for, we needed to push the crank out. I'll screw this part in here, then I can screw this into it, so it's completely inside.
Reinschrauben, einfach so, dass es komplett drin ist. Und zack.
After the crank is off, I take the Torx screwdriver and unscrew the screws.
All diese Schräubchen hier los.
In this case, I use a Torx T8 screwdriver, which is relatively small. Now we need to pull out these 2 plugs. I use needle nose pliers for this. Number 1 and number 2. This is what the plugs look like. Now we just have to put the quad plug in here and the dual plug in here. Gray on gray and black on black. 2 on 2 and 4 on 4. So it's relatively simple. And make sure you have the same connections here. Zap. Then this can go back in. Important. Here's a small caption. It says 1 and 2. This must point upwards. This way we can easily put it back in place. And the same principle applies to the 4-pin connector. To keep everything nice and tidy, we wrap the cable ties around. Then the cover comes back on. With the crank, of course, we must make sure that the two pedals are opposite to each other. We simply push the crank back onto it. And finally, we simply screw the whole thing tight again with the Allen key. As I said before, it's installed very quickly through plug-and-play installation. It's really not witchcraft. Anyone could install it. We're going out now, adjusting everything on the bike, and see it in action. Now I will briefly explain how to switch on the tuning module. It is quite simple. You simply have to hold down the minus button on the control display for 3 seconds, then the speed of the support will be displayed. Here you can now set from 25 km an hour to a maximum of 45 km an hour. It doesn't go higher. We'll just set it to 45 km an hour. Then just wait a moment for the speedometer to reset to 0. That's how it goes. To turn it off, just press the minus button again for 3 seconds and it will show you the default 25 km an hour again. And here we go. Do not forget to put on the helmet so that we are safe on the road. I'm going to drive around the building now. See you in a minute. Woohoo! My goodness, this is quite a lot of fun. I managed to ride around the building at 42 km an hour. After that, I had to pedal quite hard. This is simply due to the transmission, as I told you earlier. In any case, the support up to 45 km an hour is quite enough. The speed is also displayed correctly. This is not like other tuning modules where the speed is often halved or modulated incorrectly. I think this tuning module is great. It works really nice. 2 more things. There are always questions about the battery life and the brakes. Neither is a problem. Since e-bikes are offered without limits in other countries, they are thus also designed for these speeds. I think the Wallspeed V4 is really great and I can highly recommend it. You can find the link to the product in the video description below. There, you will find the product with more information and notes in our shop. I hope you will have as much fun with it as I did. I'll say goodbye now and head off into the weekend. Until then, take care.